The Guardian cap has lost a home on one player's head.
What? Right.
We mentioned it. I think it's been a couple weeks now. Chan, running back for the Miami Dolphins, had a Guardian cap for a while to start season. Obviously, big smart. He took it off. He was asked about it. Here's his answer.
They went the season, man. I wear it to begin because, it was my mom, but I just feel like, I didn't need them more. I got a better helmet, so I just feel like I didn't need to wear it anymore.
Oh, so did you change your helmet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was it then? What was it now? Or what is it now?
It's like the same, just like I got more cushion inside.
Okay.
I love that he said because of my mom. Okay, my mom's saying, hey, we could save the brain. Why are we choosing not to do that? And obviously mom still being around, still being that powerful is a great thing. So we have nothing but respect for that. But it does feel like whenever we were told that there's a helmet that is equal to a helmet and a Guardian cap, the way it has been built, we wondered if the Guardian cap was going to survive. It has for a couple people, but this is good for the evolution of these helmets, AJ, I think, I think it's good for the evolution of this whole thing.
Well, just think of the evolutions. Have you ever seen, I know guys that bring me and show me their helmet from Ohio State in 1968. From where we've come now from back then, it's a different world, what those guys were wearing. So, yeah, of course it's always going to evolve and get better and better, but I don't know. What's the ceiling? What's the final greatest helmet? Because they get crazier and crazier looking with different weird things and growing out of the forehead now. I think that's the one that's the Guardian cap situation, the one where it's real heavy in the front, and I think it has a heavy pad in the back as well.
Yeah, and the position-specific helmets, they talked about how you might see a quarterback with a helmet that literally just goes like this, because a lot of the concussions that come from quarterbacks when they get tackled and then their heads hit the ground like that. So if we add a little bit of a buffer zone there, that could potentially help the impact on the head. But then I think the question always goes back to, are some heads more likely to get concussed than others?
Yes. I don't. That's my opinion, but I absolutely believe that.
And can you test for that? So should we be working on also the testing to figure out whose heads are more likely to get concussed than others? For instance, this guy, you can see it through your screen every day. That is a blockhead. Okay, that right there, what you're seeing right there. You see the jawline, you see the chin, you see that? That thing probably has thick skull. This is probably a thick skull. If you're just looking at it, you probably think to yourself, this guy, turns out 0 documented concussions, played in the CTE era.
Yeah.
At middle linebacker.
Fullbacks.
So this is literally, but his head, we would assume, has a little thicker skull than others, just by looking at it. AJ, no offense.
No, that's a great comment. Thank you very much.
And also saying to somebody, you have a massive head, is a compliment from people who have massive heads. That's one of the first things. So I think if we could figure out the testing for who is more likely to get concussions than people that aren't, I don't know how you do that, science, figure it out. I think with the evolution of the helmets, I think now we're on to a true, beneficial future, as opposed to just this helmet's going to work and then play a whole season. It's it turns out that helmet did not work as much as we thought it was going to work. Well, for who though? For everybody or for some people? It's a never-ending one of these. And I believe in brain trauma being terrible for humans. Some sports have them though. Boxing, mixed martial arts, combat sports, physical sports, violent sports, hockey. A study just came out. But that's also a part of sport. So if we can figure out how to make it better, I think we're all on board. But we're also on the same page of never going to be able to remove it completely.
No way.
That is just that's a very stupid goal. I think that'll never be accomplished, and I don't think that should be the expectations. But I like that we're working to get better on it.
Well, and to what you guys are saying, head size should be a thing. I don't care if you got to add it to the combine. We talk about Cam Hayward's head all the time on here. He definitely has a lower percentage chance of getting concussion versus a Tua, just because of strictly head size. And
I don't know what Tua's head size is.
I don't know either, but I know that on the scale of normal head to Cam Hayward, he's not at the Cam Hayward
should
side.
Be head weight. Head weight should be a thing.
Sure, head weight.
Head weight, because then that would imply more bone structure than brain structure, right, in there?
Because you don't think somebody's looked at that and we're sitting here saying, okay, it's the head size and the weight.
We're just spitballing, all right? I don't know why you're
legitimately, have you?
Well, you're just throwing out stuff, Con, man. You should see what you know what I played in high school?
So I'm looking at your head right now?
Yeah.
Don't want to say it.
And you know the helmet?
AJ, nobody's ever said you had a big head, right? Nobody has ever.
I don't have a big head.
Okay, agreed. Concurred.
Do you ever have a concussion?
It's a peanut head, but that helmet, Mom's back in the day didn't give an F. because they let us all play.
Thank you for doing that.
And we had a Rydell, and it had rope in it with a dome in it. It was called a suspension helmet. Anybody have one of those?
Uncomfortable, yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah,
hey, here you
sure.
go. Go
we
knock
had those.
And we were
head down.
straight.
Are you trying to go back to that, Chuck?
No, sir. And then we went to the bike helmet and had the pads in there, and then you get in cold weather, and they froze on you.
Oh, yeah.
And that felt good.
Getting the helmet on and off, I will say. AJ, you played a lot more football than me, obviously. Grew up in it. Putting the helmet on and off in cold always sucks, right? There's not like a time you
No matter what. That's why I'd go out to initial warm-ups in Green Bay. We'd be out there 12 minutes or whatever it is. I would go directly to the sauna and put my helmet in there to warm up before we went out and ran out the tunnel.
So, because every time I'd be putting my helmet on, it would hurt so bad and be so uncomfortable, but I couldn't show it, because I'm punter. Can't.
Oh, you'll bruise your ears. I bruise my ears and stuff when you're putting a cold one on and off.
And I got a rather large dome. So, like, putting that thing on, got to do the pool.
Yep.
Got to do the pull out, but never going to be able to pull out enough. And then the head is going to get, and then the ears are getting bent down. I feel like I'm getting cauliflower here. And then, all right, punt period down. I'm like, I can't bitch because I don't got to actually hit anybody, but this sucks. If we could figure out how to put this fucking thing on a little bit better, that would be fantastic. I think what he was talking about, though, is he said there's more padding on the inside of the helmet. I think it's probably one of those bigger ones. I wonder if they're more comfortable to put on inside.
You'd think so.
What do you think, Abe?
Probably. They got to be. They got to be much more comfortable, I would think.
You would hope. Those things used to be.
Because we had that like plastic rubberish with the bladder inside. The ones now, if you look inside, it looks like soft padding.
There was a guy that had styrofoam, I think he was pitching.
Styrofoam.
Really?
There was some sort of styrofoam racing helmet. It was here in Indy. It was when you were the coach.
I remember you
Had a new idea, new concept, and this guy was Simpson, maybe, in the racing community. If we were to look up racing suits or racing helmets, the last name Simpson, I think. He came up. He's a big Colts fan. Came up with a new helmet idea concept, and I guess he was a fan of mine. For my stuff, and I didn't have to use it as much. So he pitched me the helmet to wear it. What's his name? Bill Simpson. Yeah. Tackles football concussions with new helmet. And they were using like some race stuff.
those things look sweet.
With football stuff. They kind of pieced it together. And I wore it for a while. I don't know if I was supposed to or if it was like okay or not. Super light. Didn't
Like
feel
in
like
the off season, or you wore it for games?
game. I put that fucker on in a game. Yeah.
Come on.
Did he get licensed through the league or anything? How'd that work?
I don't think so, no.
They did it up. And
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think it just...
Sweet.
I don't remember how it came about. Nah, I might have been practicing the offseason.
Did you ever hit anybody with it, or did you ever run your head into the wall and check it out?
I remember thinking I shouldn't, whatever, it was on my head. I remember thinking that, but...
Oh, really? Oh, you didn't feel comfortable?
But sometimes, like those lighter... I remember the lighter ones, though. Sometimes lighter's, like, better. Like, they got carbon fiber. Like, this guy's a racing helmet guy. I assume he did have some sort of breakthrough, but I didn't remember my brain comprehending how this was going to be good, if I do recall. I think it was OTAs. I don't think I hit anybody. I don't think it was during the game. Because to get to the game, they would have had to go through the whole... They would have had to get marked up, get okay, get approved, get out there. So there's no way it was that. But, yeah, I put that helmet on. It was, like, super light. And I was like, I don't know.
This isn't protecting me from
Is it comfortable? I'm like, yeah, it's not pretty too comfortable almost. I almost feel like this is a little bit of a hat. But there's been people trying to perfect the helmet for a long time. And I think it's because of, obviously, their genuine care of athlete and sport and competition. But the amount of money, if you were to figure out the helmet, could be forever. And all these companies know that, Age. All of them. And it sounds like Achan's got a company that has been able to kind of piece together the two best helmet, best guardian. Let's piece it into one. There's only a matter of time for everything's like that.
Well, and it'll help to a degree, obviously, but to what you were saying about, like, some people I think are just predisposed to get concussions. Because, like, I can't remember if it was the Sunday night game or a couple weeks ago. Josh Allen had one of those where he got hit and his head slammed off the turf and he didn't miss a play. Like
Texans,
yeah, the Texans game, and it looked bad. It was like, oh yikes! And he popped right back up and played again. And then it's like, you immediately wonder, well, if that was Tua, like what, just everything that's happened over the last 2 years, like how does that play out? So it is just like I think some people are just predisposed to get concussions, and other people aren't.
I just got sent in update the helmet that I was given. Banned from the NFL.
Oh, Bill Simpson.
Boy.
He
thank
tried.
God.
Someone
Thank God
died.
you
The
didn't
styrofoam
ram
wasn't-
yourself into- you could-
But you talk about people having their hits and not the DB yesterday.
Yeah.
For the Broncos. Who was it? Went up and got the pick.
McMillan.
McMillan. Yeah.
McMillan goes up and gets that pick. He flat backs. Okay, takes a big bump. Then his head, bang, right off the ground, and he gets up and runs. We've seen that same exact thing happen to people, and
Lights out.
it's
Right?
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ends up scoring touchdown to cover for the Broncos.
And that's in Denver, where it's probably cold. That field might be a little bit harder too.
Yeah, right here. Boom. He has that little whiplash head thing that we've seen so many times. Very scary. Very, very scary. It's scary on grass. It's scary on ice. It's scary in any sport that it happens whenever a head hits. Professional wrestling, whenever you see somebody, that is never good. But apparently this guy's head, okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, and
Eats it.
how do you figure it out? We don't know, but we appreciate that it is getting figured out.